Welcome to BKSS Academy. I hope you are doing great. My dear students, we will discuss about interrupts in computer architecture. It is a signal emitted by hardware and software when a process or an event needs immediate attention. It alerts processor to a high priority process requiring interruption of the current working process. Suppose a work is going on at the CPU. If another high priority instruction is coming, that work will be stored at the register, and this work, the second work which is coming, that will be processed first. Then the rest part of the process will be again processed after this. So this is the interrupt. When a device raises an interrupt I, then the processor have to complete the execution of I first, that I had told you. Similarly, on the next concept, while a processor is handling the interrupt, it must inform the device that its request has been recognized so that it stops sending interrupt and request signal. Also saving the registers for restoring in the future. Increase delay between time of interrupt received and start of execution. This is called as interrupt latency. So this is interrupt latency because when the restoring process, that process is processed in the CPU continued, so when another interrupt is coming, that will be stored in the register up to which it is been completed. Then that interrupt is executed. After interrupt is executed, then what is saved, the previous process, that will be processed again. So that time when it was stored in the register and again it is fetching from the register going for processing, that is called as interrupt latency. Software interrupt, these are of two kinds, that is software interrupt and hardware interrupt. It is interrupt produced by a software. Example is trap and exception. They serve the signal for the operating system. A particular instruction is known as a interrupt instruction, is used to create software instruction. Similarly, hardware interrupt is, in hardware interrupt, all the devices are connected to interrupt request line. A single line is used for all the n devices. So when interrupt is arised, so how to handle multiple interrupt? When more than one device raises an interrupt request signal, then following methods are used to decide which device to be considered first. The first one is polling. The first device encountered will be serviced first, just like first come first serve. So this will be serviced first, which is first interrupt which is coming, that will be serviced first. Then vector interrupt, the device request directly to the processor by sending a special code over BOS. When the device is sending the request by a special BOS through a special code, then the processor will execute it when the request is directly done to the processor. Then next one is interrupt nesting. The processor accepts interrupts only from device having priority. Therefore, the interrupt request from higher priority device is recognized and a request from lower priority device is on the waiting state or is not recognized. This is all about interrupts and how to handle the interrupt, different kinds of interrupts and definition of interrupts. Thank you.